So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Apologies for the late start. It's just all this connection and all this transfer and all that, okay? But I'm here now. So please, brethren, read the caption of this broadcast. Also, read beyond the caption of the broadcast. Read the description of this broadcast. Like it. Share it. Invite your friends. Invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them all. Damayegun today. And of course, once that is done, you can sit back, relax, and enjoy this conversation. Now, if time permits us tonight, I intend to possibly take calls, right? Yeah, so that we can have our reactions as well documented. So tonight, brethren, we are starting. Well, anyway, should I say congratulations to you, Nigerians, on the recent visit by Kolu? He's been away for 19 days. Now he's back to visit you. Then he'll be away again, but we'll come back to that. There is a popular pastor, right, in Nigeria, and some of you who have been kind of reacting to a recent postulation, a kind of a recent preaching, right, which became viral. And even though it is so misleading, tonight we are picking on that. And of course, you will also have your own say. So his name is Poju Oyemade. He is the convener or the organizer of the platform. You know that on Channels, right? Channels is their big streamer or so, right? So Poju Oyemade was recorded telling his own congregation about, well, Nigeria, the Nigerians, and then he was talking about opportunities in Nigeria and in America. Now, you see, we have tried severally to try to, you know what I mean, to try to remind people, especially the openly declared Ronukus, the Ronu bastards, right? As well as the closet bat idiots, that, you see, you should never try to, in your efforts to defend Kolu and this APC, you should endeavor never to compare developed world with Nigeria. And I mean, they are very selective, right? Whenever they want to use anything horrible, kind of, as an example from this Western world, to back any horrible thing caused by neglect, right? And incompetence and corruption in the contraption. So the Ronukus are very comfortable with that. When it comes to other parts, I mean, the good ones from this Western world, it is like you will never find them there. For example, okay, an average Ronuku will tell you it is cheaper to live in Nigeria than to live in America. They will tell you about the house rent, the cost of this, the cost of that. You know what I mean? They are always, they are like experts. In the UK, all your money goes into paying this and that. Okay? So in Nigeria, with so and so, you can be fine. But they will never talk about the pay for the kind of jobs that you would have to do in an economy like this before you get charged a certain kind of like, bills compared to what you have in Nigeria. So they have their fans. But when you now say, okay, when you say, for example, insecurity again, and then another example, insecurity, they will quickly tell you about gun violence here, all the stuffs they hear about, something happened here or there. They will say it's happening all over the world, but not at the rate at which it's happening in Nigeria. Sorry. Hey, that is their way of defending Tifnumbu. So, but when you now ask them that, what about comparing good road network, right? What about comparing stable, affordable electricity? How about comparing, like when you begin to say, what about this? What about healthcare? How come, right, that those who have the chance of making Nigeria better chooses to have their healthcare elsewhere if your defense is credible? Well, that's for the Ronukus generally, okay? But there are others who are like a closet, bat idiot or closet bat stats. This is why. Some of you will call them bigots. Some of you will call them tribal this or that. They may be all of that. But primarily, they are all of that anyway. But primarily, they are like the closet Ronukus. The closet Ronukus are the ones who are always, bringing out all these kind of theories. How there are opportunities in Nigeria. So you see this Poju Yomade, Abi Yomade Poju. He was telling his own congregation, just like Iroboye speaking to some of his own shippies as well, right? He has a problem. This is the trait, by the way, the trait of the closet Ronukus. Closet Ronukus are the ones who are going to tell you they want to sound objective, but they are not hard to detect. It's not hard. They will tell you that they are not. I'm not this one supporter. I'm not that one. You don't even have to say anything. They will begin to tell you that they are not. But let them open their mouth. It won't take. It doesn't take long before you will discover them. They have this phobia for social media, even though it is also through the same social media that some of them actually became known for real. But somehow, they feel like the lack of control over the social media by the people they secretly sort of roots for, right, is, so therefore they will come around and just demonize it, like the Satan of Shokoto did, right? So what this Yomade Poju did was that he told his congregation, right? He told them that the social media is actually there to teach Nigerians how to hate Nigeria, hate their country. Everybody talk about Nigeria this, Nigeria that, as if to say people just make all these things up. Do you understand? There are people graduated but couldn't find a job, right? That you have a larger population or larger percentage of the population unemployed. Some of them unemployable. That's a different conversation. But unemployed. So statistically, realistically, the evidence is there for everyone. But you see, these guys, they will develop their own different theories, then blame you. So he said, you see, people were being kind of like trained or taught to hate their country. Because according to him, in America, Nigerians are doing 4 or 5 jobs. Oh, they usually have all these imaginary friends or family members abroad, okay? That they have this sort of like a wonderful conversation with. They always have those imaginary friends. Anyway, in that clip, right, he said the Nigerians he met in America, they are doing 4 or 5 jobs. That in Nigeria, you can use 500,000 naira throughout your medical school. That is not true, right? But he confidently told his congregation. They sat there. They heard him. He confidently said, with 500,000 naira, yeah, you could become a doctor in Nigeria throughout your education. But you can never spend just $2,000 in America to become a doctor in America. You know, it's going to sound like, oh yeah, okay. But factually, that's absolute nonsense. How much does it cost you in a year? He said 100,000 naira. It will cost you in medical school. He actually said in medical school in Nigeria, 100,000 naira a year. And what year was that? So to him, he said, but they will go to America. They will do 4 or 5 jobs. Something they won't do in Nigeria. They now asked him that, they asked him that, but the remuneration kind of package in Nigeria was so low. How about you talk to the people in charge, right? To actually value I'm not going to say that medical school in Nigeria is not cheap compared to some other universities in the world. Does that make your universities the best? You'd be honest with yourselves. What is any of your medical schools in Nigeria rating in the world? Out of 1,000 schools in the world, how many of your schools in Nigeria, medical schools in Nigeria, right? What is your ranking? How many? I'm just saying this because it is us that sold properties, sold belongings, just to go and acquire education in America. So somebody now said in the comments, somebody said, why didn't the Americans, because it's cheaper in Nigeria now, if Nigeria education is so that, like Poju was saying. Can you get me now? Americans should be flooding Nigeria. British should be flooding Nigeria. It's a cheaper education. But is it quality? What is it like in those schools that are churning out the doctors, the nurses? What is it like? In reality, Poju made it sound so easy, so, like simple. But Nigerians, so after getting that cheap education, they are always saying, may Nigeria not happen to me. I'll let you listen, because it is so irritating, so misleading, so self-serving, and it is so typical. It is so typical of the characters who are hiding behind the truth, fabricating, misleading. There's something called half-truth. It is like when you take the truth, right? You dilute it, you mix it, then you roll out half-truth as truth, diluted. So half-truth is a lie. There's something like, boy, it's true. So no. You don't manage it. Something has to be like either true or lie. That's the fact. There is no in between. But listen, he knows what he's doing. For your information.
And I found a group of people, and people have been programmed on social media to hate their country, which is self-hatred. I was in America. I sat down with some Nigerians, and they started. I told them, I said, listen, before you continue, Nigeria, a person will graduate as a medical doctor and spend 500,000 throughout to become a doctor. Throughout. I said in America, and they're working in Johns Hopkins. Go and ask them how much. You graduate from Johns Hopkins, you graduate from Harvard as a doctor, and you spend $2,000. Are you okay? Do you know how much money you spend? Now, Nigerians are ungrateful. They will go through everything, education. How much do they spend there? Go there. I said, look, you see a Nigerian, if they tell him in Nigeria to do 2 jobs, he will curse your life out. He will come to America, wake up in the morning, do first job, do second job, do Uber, and do everything he's doing. I said, if they put the fraction of this energy they put here in their country, they will have blown. They kept quiet. He told me, he said, listen, what's the unemployment rate in Nigeria? I said, we don't calculate unemployment rate. He said, no, you must give me a figure. I said, there's no figure. Nigeria, there's nothing like that. Let me tell you why. Yaba did a trade, they were just for church members to sell things. I thought they just put out tents like this, 1, 2, 3, in the car park. I wasn't saying this thing is a waste of time. One lady said, came to me, the pastor, thank you for doing this. Now, just to show you, She was selling wigs. She has a job. Before my eyes, somebody came out of the church and bought 3 wigs, each one 250,000. That business is not registered though. 750 grand that girl carried home. There's no job she's doing. So if somebody is in their house and just starts selling wig, are they unemployed? No. But are they registered as employed? No. Our statistics here is different. Understand your terrain. Do you understand what I'm saying here? You see, one of the problems in Nigeria, people don't understand their terrain. Understand your terrain. In America, you will sell like that. IRS is coming for you. And you go home with 750,000. Out of that 750,000, 200,000 belongs to government. Don't drop it. You will see jail. Are you following what I'm saying here? Understand the terrain. Sit down and say, what is this terrain? Then understand it so you know how to play. The girls and the lady said, when you get more, send to me. In other words, I'm telling you that that person could have bought 1.5 million on wigs on the spot. And if you see the lady buying, you will not know she has seen 2 million in her life. My mind was renewed. This is Nigeria. Do you get what I'm saying? The land of opportunity where good cometh. Are you following what I'm saying here? So what you should say every day is good cometh unto me. Leave all these people. Say Nigeria happened to them. What are you talking about? You understand what I'm saying? Listen. In America, there are 4 people groups that are doing better than Caucasians. Nigerian Americans are, I think they're number 2, Nigerians. And they said why? It is the family of Nigerians, the way they raise their children. Which means the generation that left Nigeria when they got there still raised their children the Nigerian way. And the Nigerian way says book first before talent. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Get degree, whatever you want to do, do. If you say you want to paint, paint. But first of all, bring certificate. And that's the way in. Why people are saying, what are these Nigerians doing? Because they tell their children education. You enter a Nigerian home, they are disciplined. The value system here is treasure. You now go there, you go and join people. I say, hey.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
You see how tricky they can be. Talking nonsense with confidence. But you know, Nigerians they have gullible people in Nigeria that are in the majority, unfortunately. Nigerians are, or many Nigerians can be that gullible. All you have to do is to just mix some truth with so many other lies, fabrications, and other nonsense, and then present it in such a way that it will be like you are just trying to mean well. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to be positive. Let us say good thing about our country. Let us not say all the bad things, because there are those who will tell you that when you say bad things about your country, that is why your country is facing what it's facing. Not the actions of the criminals who are responsible, who are deliberately and intentionally ruining that place. That's their job. They mix lies with truth, mix them together and present them as a truth. Now, let's review this. He said, in America, he met Nigerians who are doing 3-4 jobs. Nigeria, or in America, there is no free or cheap education. So you're going to pay student loan for 30 years. Okay. Now, you see, like I said, every system can have their own K-leg. But here is what Nigerians have been able to make for themselves. It is right that the demography of the highly educated sort of like group in America, they point Nigerians. True. Also, one of the most successful sort of nationalities in America, they also kind of put Nigerians, in the top 5.